The lights were on, the stage was set, and the giants of GWS roared into life. This wasn't just another match. This wasn't just another 4 points on the ladder. This was a moment, a declaration, a statement that reverberated far beyond the final siren. Because GWS weren't just hosting Geelong, they were testing themselves against a fellow contender. A club with premiership muscle. A club with history. A club that knows how to rise in September. And yet, from the first bounce to the last breath, GWS looked the more dangerous. The more hungry. The more urgent. They pounced. They pressured. They punished. Geelong had their chances, no doubt. But when it mattered, when precision was required, when discipline was demanded, GWS delivered. And Geelong blinked. Perhaps the most telling moment of the night came not from a brilliant goal, but a moment of confusion. Gryan Miers, one of Geelong's usually reliable contributors, found himself 70 metres from goal, seemingly lost in the geometry of the field. He wandered into the protected area. A mental lapse, a critical error, and that 50-metre penalty. It wasn't just a free ride downfield. It was the moment GWS sealed it. Took it, owned it. X marked the spot. X took the shot. X made it count. And with that, the orange tsunami rolled on. In the aftermath, there was no wild celebration. Just clenched fists. Just silent nods. Just the quiet fire of a team that knows it belongs. Make no mistake, this was a statement win. Meanwhile, over at Docklands, Adelaide were quietly writing a statement of their own. 11 points doesn't sound like much. But in enemy territory, against a Western Bulldogs side still fighting for relevance, it meant everything. The Crows were composed, slick, relentless. They absorbed the pressure and responded with poise. Their ball movement cut through the Bulldogs' defense like a scalpel. Their intent was clear. They came to win, and win they did. This wasn't just a road win. It was a belief builder. A confidence booster. A shot of momentum in the arm of a team that's been threatening to break into the top echelon for months. And as the sun dipped below the Melbourne skyline, attention turned to the MCG. Richmond, Essendon. The rivalry writes itself. It's a fixture soaked in history. In passion. In colour. Yellow and black vs red and black. And tonight, it would take centre stage under the bright lights of the G. Expect fire. Expect chaos. Expect a crowd that won't sit down. But while the traditional powers were preparing for battle, over in Perth, the Dockers were sharpening their focus on opportunity. 9th on the ladder. So close to the 8 they could taste it. And standing in their way, Hawthorn. A side that's been brave, bold, but inconsistent. For Fremantle, this was a must-win. Not because it was mathematically essential, but because belief needs evidence. Because every September dream needs fuel. They knew that 4 points tonight wouldn't just elevate them on the ladder, it would energize the group. Signal their intent. Tell the competition, we are here. And if the Dockers could take care of business in the West, the narrative would change. From hopefuls to contenders. But back to GWS. Because that win, it matters. Geelong were tested. Found wanting. GWS. Ruthless. Efficient. Hungry. They hunted in packs. They closed space. They created chaos and thrived within it. They didn't just match Geelong, they outworked them. Outrun them. Outthought them. And when the game was on the line, they stayed clean. Stayed focused. No silly errors. No brain fades. And when Gryan Miers made his, GWS pounced. That's what elite teams do. They don't just win the physical battle. They win the mental one. They're ready for the moment, and they own it. It wasn't flashy. It wasn't lucky. It was clinical. This is a team that understands the assignment. That knows where it wants to be in September. And on this night, at this ground, against this opponent, they showed exactly why they should be feared. The coach would be proud. The fans would be buzzing. The league would be watching. Because when you beat Geelong like that, you don't just win a game. You send a message, a roar from the west of Sydney that says, we're coming. And we're not afraid of anyone. Not Geelong, not the ladder, not the past. GWS are looking forward. And tonight, they took a step that can't be ignored.